So I just came back from Washington, D.C. after attending John Cena's last match, and this was very bittersweet. As you guys know, John Cena is my guy. Ever since I was 5 years old back in 2004 when he used to be the Doctor, he was my original guy. Yes, I know I'm an unk, you don't gotta tell me in every single video, but I can confidently say if it wasn't for John Cena, I don't think I ever would have been as obsessed with wrestling as I ended up being. If I wasn't such a big Cena fan as a kid, I don't think there is a YouTube channel. I don't think this is my job. I would probably be in an office somewhere doing something way more boring. As cheesy as it is, being a John Cena fan, especially at the age I was, it changed my life. I think I was always going to be a wrestling fan, but with Cena being the rapper and then the changing soldier in 04, 05, 06, 07, that was exactly what I needed as a kid, and it cemented my love for professional wrestling. And as the years went on, there were ups, there was downs. I loved him, I hated him, I loved him again, but he was always there. So put into perspective, Cena made his debut in the company the same year I started kindergarten. He won his first world title when I was in grade 1. He took on The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania when I was in grade 8. During my junior year in high school, he was having his 2015 run, and his last true full-time year was when I was in the second year of university. And not to sound like the Eminem song Stan, but it did feel like I grew up with them. And on Saturday, it was all coming to an end. So of course, I had to get my ass to Washington, D.C., the most fucking random city that could have hosted his final match, and I went all out for this because honestly, I knew going into this was gonna be my last hurrah when it came to wrestling. So yeah, I went crazy. I bought the belt, I bought the best seats I could afford, I pulled out my 2006 throwback tee, and as I walked around the airport and flew to Washington with this heavy ass belt, I knew that Saturday night, that one match for those 20 to 30 minutes, that was gonna be the last time I ever cared about wrestling to the extent that I did as a kid. It was going to be the end of my childhood. It was going to be the end of all of our childhoods. But fast forward December 13th, Saturday night, I made it into the arena. I was there in the flesh. I had an amazing view, but yo, I was so locked in, it didn't make any sense. I sat there for the prelim matches, and the whole time I was just like, is it time yet? Is it time yet? I didn't eat anything, no popcorn, no snacks, nothing. I didn't even fucking drink anything for once. I was just sitting there like, please, can the match be good? Because as cheesy as this is, as corny as this might sound, I was anxious because I just really wanted the match to be good. And that was all because, in my opinion, just how shit the year had been. It basically gave me PTSD. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what if it's a squash match? What if it's only 10 minutes long? What if there's run-ins for some reason? What if it's a finisher spam? What if it's just shit? Just everything this year had been so mid for the most part that I just genuinely didn't trust that they would land this, and I wasn't even thinking about Cena winning or losing. I was just hoping that please can he just go out with a banger. And spoiler alert, he did. When Gunther was in the ring and Cena was about to come out, and when that music hit, I dead ass got teary-eyed. I for weeks was telling everyone in my life, anyone who asked me, oh, like, are you gonna cry when you go to the match? Are you gonna cry? I told everyone, no, I'm not gonna cry. It's not that serious. He's not dying. He's just retiring. He's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a special moment. It's not that deep. I fucking cried, bro. Now, when the music hit and he came out, that's when it finally felt real. That's when the emotions hit me. They were just these waves of emotions and memories from buying his figures, buying his CD the day it came out, watching his matches with my mom. It finally hit me. Even my mom was watching this back home, and she told me on the phone the next day, she's like, when his entrance came and the music played, it reminded of me and you when you were a little boy watching it at our old house. Like, even she was hit with this unimaginable wave of nostalgia. It didn't hit me the entire year, but man, your boy was going through it. But yo, that's what made it beautiful. It wasn't just in the arena, it was everyone back home in different countries all over the world. It hit everyone, and that's what made it beautiful. Hey yo, when Lillian was doing the intro bar for bar, I was feeling everything in my heart. The last real champion, celebrating with all of you, the never seen, like everything she was saying, I was feeling that shit in my heart. Yo, isn't it insane how like fake wrestling can mean so much to so many people? Like, I love real sports, but when Sidney Crosby, who's another GOAT of my childhood, when he retires, it's not gonna feel like this. But after the beautiful introduction, the match started, the bell rang, and yeah, I was still anxious as hell. I was super anxious, but being in that crowd and how loud we were, how rowdy we were, chanting, fuck you, Gunther, it was insane how everyone was in unison. It was a surreal feeling. Now, once I started pulling out the finishers early, I was pretty scared. It felt like this was going to be the stereotypical quick 10-minute match, and that's why I was anxious in the first place. In the back of my head, I was like, please don't end the show at 10 p.m. Please don't be a 10-minute finisher spam. Just let these two cook for one last time. So for the first 5 to 7 minutes, I was just kind of there. It wasn't until Gunther kicked out of the FU, got out of the STFU, they did the Cena sleeper spot, and then went outside the ring. That was the moment where I was like, nah, alright, we're locked in. This isn't gonna just be a finesse or a quick one. We're getting something special. Once Cena hit the steps, I was like, here we go. And boys and girls, for the next like 14 or so minutes, I felt like a 6-year-old once again. I was chanting, I was having fun. When Cena hit the FU off the steps onto the announce table, I was going crazy. If I wasn't out in public, my shirt would have been off. I would have been like a gorilla, just primal, just chanting. Like, I was having the time of my life. And that's also where the delusion came from. Like, yo, he might actually win this match. It was just so fun being a kid again and just cheering for someone to win a match, knowing you were watching something special with a crowd that is so rowdy, so hot, and you know, it's doing the you can't see me. And just even when Cena would get clapped, the reactions against Gunther made it so damn fun. It was awesome seeing the FUs and knowing like, yeah, he might hit some more in the future, but he's not going to be hitting them in an official match like this. And in this match, we got a super AA, we got everything we needed from a Super Cena match, we got it. And it was insane hearing the crowd chant Super Cena. What the fuck? Yo, this man used to be considered Osama bin Laden back in the day because he was Super Cena. People used to spew venom at him every single week, online, in person, you name it. People despise Super Cena. But now here we were, 20,000 people chanting Super Cena. Nah, it was amazing. But what made this match so special, what made everyone tear up, was of course the ending. When Gunther got the rear naked choke locked in, I think everyone knew deep down, okay, this is the end. He's gonna lose. He wants to lose. He basically told the world that he's going out with a loss. But by the way this was booked, god damn it, they made us believe. Rear naked choke for like 5 minutes, but every single time Cena would fight, he would fight like it's 07 Cena, 2010 Cena. He wasn't giving up, but neither was Gunther. And the longer the sleeper went, the more emotional it got and the more special it got, because every time Cena fought out, he fought out and he made us believe. And for those 5 minutes in that sleeper, I think everyone watching just truly disconnected and forgot this was fake fighting, that it was scripted, that was this. We just believed. We just wanted to see this man win. We didn't care about anything else. When he hit the FU after getting out of the sleeper hold, we reacted to that shit like he threw a knockout punch in a real UFC fight. We didn't care. And that's the magic of wrestling. Moments like this now, in these days with kayfabe being done and all that, this stuff like this rarely happens, but it happened on Saturday. When the crowd started chanting, don't give up, don't give up, I don't care how pussy this sounds, I was on the verge of tears, I was on the verge of crying. After everything, after watching his whole career, the love, the hate, the days of we hate Cena, all that, this guy was getting don't give up chants. And what made it so emotional was, I don't recall there ever being don't give up chants to Cena in his entire career. Because realistically, why would there be? We knew he was never gonna give up. But tonight, we knew. Yo, that chant, that moment was so damn emotional because there was so much behind that chant. That wasn't just a random chant. There was so much behind it. This was, in my opinion, one of the single most meaningful chants in wrestling history ever. All these kids all over the world traveled here who grew up on Cena all these years later are chanting, don't give up, don't give up. Because we knew what was going to happen. We knew what the inevitable ending was. But this was like 20 plus years of emotion packed into one single chant. And that's fucking beautiful. And yeah, I had tears in my eyes. And Cena kept fighting. They just kept going and going. They pulled out every stop, from reversing, from getting out of there, from reaching the ropes, from, you know, his shoulder didn't go down. Like, they teased us in every single way. But at the end, Cena tapped. Yeah. Now, before we talk about the ending, him losing, him tapping or whatever, I just want to say this. I thought this was a beautiful match. This was everything I ever wanted in a Cena retirement match. From the entrance, to the intro, to the crowd, the drama, the excitement, the table break, the comebacks, to Super Cena chants, and the emotional don't give up chant. It was amazing. The sleeper that was on forever, the teasing, the actually making us believe that Cena one more time was going to come clutch and get it done. In terms of the match, it was perfect. Now, the ending, I'm conflicted. I knew Cena was going to lose. I think a lot of people really deep down knew he was going to lose. Everything he's ever said about his retirement, everything he's ever talked about in interviews or anything, it was obvious he was going to go out putting someone over. Cena for years has probably known that he was going to go out losing. He knew that. It's what he wanted, so that's what we got. And I understand it. I totally 100% understand it. But in this context, after you look at everything that happened in the year, he should have won. I think Cena should have won the match, and despite Cena making the decision to lose, which I am 99.9% sure it was his decision, this is what he wanted, I don't care. This is still Triple Fraud's fault. If Cena had a retirement tour that the whole year was banger after banger after banger, it was filled with amazing matches and stories, and to sum it all up, actually gave people closure for his career, no one would have complained about him losing tonight. This is all because of just how bad, in my opinion, his 2025 run was. If the retirement tour actually left people fulfilled, then yeah, go lose your last match, go tap, go pass out, go do whatever you want. At least we got our fulfillment. But this whole year, all it made us want is more John Cena, because what we got was not what anyone wanted. We didn't even get the real John Cena. For most of the year, we got this weird heel John Cena, which wasn't totally a heel, but he kind of was, kind of wasn't. Nobody knew what the fuck that was. The last 3 months were really fun, but that's not gonna make us just forget about the first 75% of the year. Triple H, what did we get this year in Cena's retirement tour? Please enlighten us. We got a heel turn 2 months in, done only because you guys wanted a viral moment. A heel turn of the biggest star you guys have with zero planning of the future whatsoever. And then we got a stinky ass WrestleMania main event with a 10-minute Travis Scott run-in, who we never saw again. A Randy feud for 2 weeks that was rushed, and then we had an R-Truth run-in during that match. A tag match that we didn't need with Logan Paul that also had a R-Truth run-in. We got weeks and weeks of Logan Paul promos, a 2-week CM Punk feud, which could have easily been longer and had multiple matches, but no, let's just rush it for Saudi, and then that match is gonna have 900 run-ins. Cena is a heel still for some reason. It's clearly not working. Okay, let's turn him face out of nowhere, proving that the heel turn was a bad idea and a flop. Thankfully, we got a classic at SummerSlam. Thankfully. But here's more Logan Paul. Good match, but did we really need 2 Logan Paul matches in a year with Cena? But it's okay, it's fine. How do we follow that up, Triple H? Let's have Cena get squashed by Brock Lesnar. And before anyone says, well, they want to build up Brock, it's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doesn't need any building up. Let's just do a John Cena squash match, right? Which, once again, if they just had that as a good match, that would fix a lot of problems, but they didn't even have a good match. At this point, before you know it, we have 7 dates left, okay? And we're out here announcing matches on Twitter. On Twitter. Now listen, were the last 3 months fun? Yes, but that's what we wanted for the entire year. Instead, we got 3 fun months, 1 classic at SummerSlam, and the rest was just like, blah. So when I see people calling people marks on Twitter and Reddit and everything, like, oh, you're such a mark, you wanted John Cena to win, you're such a mark. Bro, we just wanted a feel-good moment, because this whole year there's been like maybe 2 of them. Like, what's the essential feel-good moment of Cena's retirement tour? He won the IC title in Boston. Okay, cool, 1 moment. Bro, he won the 17th world title at WrestleMania and it was a flop. Like, come on. What's his second biggest moment? Or first, Cena becoming a face again at SummerSlam? He lost that match, which is fine. He should have lost, but like, do you guys not see why 1 win at the end would have actually helped a lot of, like, looking back at the year? Like, am I the only one? Am I going insane? If Cena spent the entire year as a face having actual feuds with Orton and Punk and AJ, you know, proper long feuds mixed in with matches with Dom and other youngsters that didn't feel forced and rushed, and they just let Cena cook, it would have been so much easier watching him lose and tap out and just hang it up, because it's like, you know, wow, what a year. He did his thing. We had so much fun. What a way to go out. It's hard to do that when a lot of people like me thought they wasted 80% of the year. That's why I think it's fair to boo Triple H. I know Cena losing was his decision. He did it. I understand it. It was the right thing to do. Technically, it was the right thing to do. But once again, this is a consequence of Triple H's actions, because of how he booked the entire year for Cena, made it so overcomplicated and stupid and just so many dumb decisions. Of course we should be booing him. Of course we should be angry. We didn't get what anyone should get in their retirement tour when they're that important to wrestling. I think the best example I can give you is Avengers Endgame. So when Tony Stark died at the end of Avengers Endgame, nobody was chanting bullshit, nobody was complaining, nobody was like, oh no, this is the worst thing ever. We accepted it, it was cool, it made sense. Why? We had a bunch of movies that were good, and Iron Man was doing his thing. He went out like a G, he went out like a boss, had a great run, great final run in Infinity War and Endgame, right? Imagine if those movies sucked. Imagine if Infinity War and Endgame sucked and Tony Stark for some reason turned heel and went rogue and just did all this weird stuff that nobody wanted, and then he died at the end. Everyone just would have been like, why did you guys ruin the character? Why did you guys do this to Tony Stark? That's kind of what happened with Cena. Not to that extreme, but that's basically what happened. I just don't think it's fair to call people marks if they wanted to see Cena win. You gotta look at everything that led up to it. I don't think it's fair to call them marks for that. I think Triple H deserves the boos, the criticism, because this isn't just about the ending to the Cena retirement match. This is a reflection of everything he did the entire year. And it doesn't really matter, no, because he's still going to be like, yeah, just enjoy the ride. All right, we're still in the 3rd inning. Having fun yet? Oh, it's a new era. He's already on that. But whatever, we know it's everything he did that led to this. We knew Cena was going to lose. There was a 99.9% chance he was going to lose. We know that. But because of everything before it is what made it not go over at all. That's just my opinion. I get the frustration 100%. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The GOAT has retired. And all I can really say is thank you, Cena. Like I said, if it wasn't for Cena, I don't think I would be doing this YouTube channel. I don't think I'd be that obsessed with wrestling as I ended up being. The impact that he had on me in my childhood and even to this day is unmatched, right? That's why to me, Cena is forever going to be my GOAT. A lot of childhoods died on Saturday, but hey, you know what? At least her GOAT went out with a banger, a fun fire match that I'm never going to forget being able to attend. Before I end this video, obviously I'm going to say thank you, Cena. Not like he's ever going to watch this, but either way, thank you, Cena. But I also want to say, yo, like, shout out to you guys. Thank you for giving me this platform. Thank you for allowing this to be my job. The reason I'm able to go to cool things like this is because this is my job, you know, and I'm truly blessed for that, and I'm truly thankful for that. That's why I like making these videos. I hope you guys can kind of feel you were there with me a little bit, you know what I mean? Probably not, but I try my best, okay? But yeah, the GOAT has retired, and interesting way to go out. I just wish everything leading up to it was better, and then the loss wouldn't have hurt that much. But I get it. It's how Cena wanted to go out, so we got to respect it to an extent. But once again, that doesn't mean we can't clown on Triple H for what he did the entire year. In the comments down below, let me know what you guys thought of everything. It's your boy Pav, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll say this though, don't worry, before the year ends, your boy is definitely going to drop his own rebooking Cena's retirement tour video, so be on the lookout for that. I got you guys. We'll fantasize a little bit. Till then though, see you guys later. Stay safe out there. Once again, thank you for everything. Thank you for giving me this platform. It means the world. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. See you guys later.